Julius Randle, 23 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists in Game 4 against the Hawks. Randle went 7 for 19, 5 fouls, 5 turnovers, and a 96-113 loss to the Atlanta Hawks in Game 4. Some bad, good, ugly from Julius Randle in this game and the entire series, and the Hawks have basically played him the exact same way every game, and the Knicks have struggled to combat it. Randle has actually played into the Hawks' hands. Let's get into the film just right away. Here, quick Derrick Rose, Julius Randle pick and pop with Randle coming up with a ghost screen, gets a one-on-one with DeAndre Hunter. Bogey comes to help close off the middle driving lane. Randle creates a step back shot, but no good. The Knicks get Randle the ball on the right wing. John Collins will shade Randle to drive right. Clint Capela will come up near the baseline as a help defender. Capela will help off of Taj Gibson, and Bogey will cover Gibson in the meantime. This does leave RJ Barrett open on the weak side corner. With Capela being that help defender in the paint, if Randle drives in, he is basically driving into his own double team. Randle ends up creating a step back jump shot out of this, which is a good shot for him, but he is just cold. With this defense, the Hawks are comfortable switching guys like Trae, Bogey, and Herter onto Randle as long as that help defender is in the paint, is nearby, is lurking, ready to double when Randle drives into the paint. This also allows the defense to play Randle much more tightly and close, because even if he is able to drive by and get by the defense, he is playing into the Atlanta Hawks' hands, and he'll be immediately automatically double teamed with that help defender near the paint. So we have seen a lot of Julius Randle trying to create a jump shot when he is isolated and shoot himself into a rhythm, and it hasn't been pretty. The Hawks love this, especially if it is a heavily contested shot. What I have noticed in this game is that Randle is able to get to his spots easy in transition when the defense isn't set, and it's best to have him work at the top of the key rather than the left and right blocks. Also, Randle is more inclined to attack the rim if John Collins is the center for the Hawks instead of Capela. On this play, he brings the ball up, an in and out dribble, gets by the defender, and is able to get to the rim. The Hawks also do not trust Julius Randle's right hand. This is why we are seeing here Hunter forcing him to drive right, going baseline, and Hunter is playing him close and tight. The Hawks' help defense isn't immediately set, but Randle creates a step back jumper here, and this time he hits it. The same gist here, Hunter playing up close, taking away that airspace, forcing Randle right towards the help defender. Hunter is still with Randle as he drives, and Capela is sliding, getting ready to double if Randle gets inside. Randle ends up creating a step back jumper, and he misses. This was a better possession for the Knicks. They get the switch for Bogey onto Randle. Capela comes up and is lurking as that help man. Randle drives in and has to navigate through Bogey and Capela. He gets Capela to commit and guard him. Randle really has nowhere to operate, so he quick passes it inside to Gibson, gets Collins to help, extra pass to RJ. Good look for three for RJ, but he misses here. What does help the Knicks offense is Derrick Rose working in the pick and roll. The threat of him as a slasher and a mid-range guy forces the Hawks to have Capela play higher up at the level of the screener. This will open up options for the roller to get inside, or these short roll passes. Here Randle hits a three off the pass in rhythm. Randle has to be better and not rush into these shots. Here he gets a switch with Herter on him. He has to have the double team at least commit to him fully, either from driving left, taking it inside on Herter, and if Trae helps, he can kick it to Reggie in the corner. Even on the drive, you can see Collins immediately come over. Get a little bit inside here. Have one of these guys commit to double team you completely and make a play out of it. These contested dribble pull-up shots are what the Hawks can live with, and honestly at this point, that is exactly what they want. Here he gets a post up on Solomon Hill. Gallo is operating as that stunt defender off of Burks. Burks starts to relocate to the opposite side of the court to take away Gallo from the play. Onyeka comes over as that help paint defender. Burks actually ends up making contact with Onyeka, Nerlens Noel is wide open near the dunker spot. This could have been a Randle jump pass to Noel and they get something inside here, but instead a contested mid-range shot comes out of this. Call me crazy, but Randle has to drive in and accept getting double teamed heavily and make plays out of this. Attack the Hawks defense when they are rotating. This always opens up someone else, usually a three-point shooter. Perfect example of Randle needing to accept the double team. Once the ball is passed to him, this gets the defense looking to rotate. RJ Barrett ends up being the beneficiary out of this. He attacks the Solomon Hill closeout, and even though RJ gets this shot to go, another option in Burks wide open in the corner for a three. Another example, Randle coming up, accepts the Gallo and Onyeka double team. Solomon Hill comes to cover Noel, and Herder covers Emmanuel quickly in the corner. This leaves RJ Barrett open for three. And off this Rose, Randle pick and pop. The threat of Rose getting downhill forces the Hawks to hedge Rose. Randle immediately puts his head down, and Capela has to come over from the right side, and Randle is able to get a goaltend on this play. The Hawks aren't committing to heavily doubling Randle when he gets the ball. They are more so intimidating Randle with a big lurking by. Plays like this, Randle has to make more of. The Hawks want to force Randle baseline to the help of Capela. They expect him to drive left here, but he gets going right, draws the attention of Capela, and this is just a quick pass off to Gibson. RJ gets a double screen in transition. Bogey gets switched on to Randle. Same Hawks defense. Randle is able to navigate away from the double driving right. Finds the open man in Barrett. Barrett does get closed out by two defenders. Randle gets the ball. Same Hawks defense. Randle gets by Bogey and finds Bullock in the corner for three, but he doesn't make it. Here on the Randle drive, Capela comes to help. Collins stunts the drive. Simple drive and kick for RJ, but he doesn't connect. I understand that the Knicks are down 3-1 in this series, and that can be demoralizing for a young team, but we have seen teams come back, especially young teams like the Denver Nuggets last season, come back from 3-1 leads. For the Knicks to get back in this series, their shooters have to get hot. Randle can't bail the defense out taking long contested mid-range shots, especially when the jumper isn't falling consistently for him. The Hawks are giving Randle that respect of basically having two defenders focus on him. Once he gets the double team to fully commit to him, he has to make plays out of this. You want to beat the Hawks when you get their defense rotating, and since they are doubling, someone is almost always open. This comes down to the Knicks shooters having to make shots. And for the Knicks on the defensive side, they basically have no answer for Trae Young. It honestly happens. It happens. We're seeing this with Luka Doncic, also Kawhi Leonard. Teams just don't have an answer for you. It happens. They're just that great of a player. And as great as the Knicks defense was this season, that goes out the window now with how the Hawks have been getting theirs. They tried trapping, switching, dropping, playing at the level of the screener. Trae Young is just too damn good of a passer and scorer, but you have to be able to match that on the offensive side.